Well, we always try to save the best for last, but we had to put him in first today. So our friend Gordy Casper is here, and it's time now for another edition of Fun with Gordy. Gordy, how in the heck are you doing, young man?
Really good. Thanks for the young man mark.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen you for a long time. You probably still look young in my memory. That's
true. Usually you start out with a very nice sarcastic insult, so this is brand new. I'm not used to this.
I think I'll save it till last when you're ready for it. Okay.
There you go. How are you?
Good. Hey, let's talk about Boylan. Boylan last night wins the Nick 10 outright. You've been around those kids. You're working with the freshman team now. How exciting is that over there in Boylanville?
Well, I was at the, to give you an example, I was at the Hononegah game last night with assistant coach Lamar Powell, and we were scouting and filming, and Coach Powell sent a text to Mike Winters, and before he sent the text, he said, Gordy, let's see how long it takes Coach Winters to text back. So he sends a text and said, congratulations on conference champs, and he sent a text back in like 33 seconds that said, great to hear that Hononegah won, and so it is a big deal, and I know the kids have worked really hard. I don't get to be around them too much working with the freshmen, but every time I see them, they're putting in the time and earning every victory they get.
So if you were at that game last night, what did you think about the ending?
I thought it was accurate. How about that for a word? Hononegah tried to get the ball in bounds with a 1-point lead, threw the ball into a player that wasn't really a guard for him, and Tyler strips it and scores the layup right away to give Auburn the lead. Hononegah throws it in again, Tyler almost gets a second steal. Ball gets knocked out of bounds, and then the 5 seconds left after the foul. Then Hononegah goes with no timeout, and they get a travel call. So that was an accurate call, too, because the kid took 4 steps. They foul. Let the kid make one split.
Yep.
And then he split the second. He didn't even want to shoot the first one. Somehow he got it to go in. The second one clangs the iron, and then I had trouble with his name. Number 14, Cameron.
Kohlberg, I think.
Kohlberg.
Yeah, Kohlberg, the Freeport name. There's some Kohlbergs out there, too. And, boy, he was tough as nails for them all night. He had at least 8 points in the first quarter and really carried them, not scared at all of the Auburn defense, which is hard to not be scared of sometimes. And he got trapped, and the game was, if they would have just held the trap, it was fine. But to Kohlberg's credit, he split the trap, and he shot the ball, and they hammered him down. And Kevin King was the referee. He didn't make the call, but Kevin King works this area a lot, and the other 2 referees I didn't recognize at all. And I think a lot of credit goes to Kevin King for getting that refereeing unit together and making the right call and communicating it with Brian and with Mike Miller, because it could have been a mess, but I thought he did a great job of getting the refs together and communicating to the coaches. And then the other thing that he did, because everybody wondered, would it be 2 shots or would it be 3? Because they called the foul, but was he shooting or not? And he was clearly shooting from what I saw. And I believe he was shooting. And the referee who made the call is not the one who signaled 3 shots. It was Kevin King who put 3 up to let everybody in the place know it was a 3-shot foul. So there was a lot going on all night. Both teams played well. Both teams made mistakes. But one thing I've learned here in the last few years, more than running plays, it's toughness that wins games. And I really thought Hononegah was a tougher team last night. So it was a really entertaining game. I haven't seen a game end on a foul like that. I can't remember. So it was a lot of fun.
What would Norman Dale have said, Gordy?
Well, if he was a Hononegah coach, he'd have said that's perfect call, and he'd a high-five shooter. And if he was the Auburn coach, he'd have walked off the court.
So as a freshman coach, you've probably been able to do a lot of scouting, so you've probably seen a lot of the other teams this year.
Yeah.
We've talked on several occasions on the air here, just about how it seems like there's so much young talent this year. It's not a senior-heavy class around the conference, even if you're talking juniors, but also sophomores, some freshmen. What do you think about some of the young talent in the area?
Well, I've listened to you guys talk about it, and I think you're dead on. I think there are a lot of younger players with a lot of talent, and some of it's still at the freshman level as well. I was thinking that, we've actually got a couple kids at Boylan who could have easily been moved up, but for one reason or another, we kept them all together, and they've really grown and played well. So I think the freshman talent looks good. I think part of that might be you got a watered-down product a little bit at the senior-junior level, and that's why freshmen are getting a chance. I mean, it's only fair to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise they wouldn't even see playing time. However, more to the point is that I do think we've got some really good players at the lower levels.
You look at it this year, and I've been following the girls' 1A and 2A regionals. What do you think is going to happen with the boys now? We're going to mix them up a little bit more than we usually do. Probably not as much as we hoped, but it's still going to be mixed up a little bit. You think that's a good thing for what they're doing this year?
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's just amazing. What was interesting that I liked, Dave, was the first two coaches you had interviews on to start the show. What both of them say during the conversation. They both said that they feel their team's playing their best basketball at this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, if there wasn't a tournament, both those teams wouldn't even be playing after their last regular season game. So it's great to see them. It's great to see them building towards the tournament at the right time of year. And I think the Boylan thing's going to be interesting for them at 3A. And the road they'll have to face. What I'm wondering, because I don't get to see other teams, what is going on with the Winnebago thing?
I don't know. They won last night, but I hear that they're just shooting terrible. I talked to a Winnebago fan. I said, "What in the world's going on over there?" And he said, "Well, we're just not playing well. We're not making shots. So maybe it's one of those things." But it came at a bad time, didn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. And then I guess that just shows how important those rankings are.
Yeah, they're not very good, are they?
Well, not until the end. But hopefully they can get things turned around. I know they got a pretty good lineup, so it'll be fun to watch.
Real quick, as we're running up on time here, what about some of the, I guess the bounce back of the Boylan program? I think lost in the shuffle is, they had, by Boylan standards, a couple of subpar years there, kind of struggling as Auburn was kind of leading the way in the conference. But very quietly, it felt like the freshman and sophomore teams were really, really strong. And I think you're seeing that now, and I hear that there's still some talent at those younger levels. What about kind of the bounce back of that program that had been so strong for so long?
Well, I just think it's all about hard work. I mean, let's talk about Luke McDermott, the point guard for the varsity. I remember when I first saw him 3 years ago, I thought he was a cross-country runner. He had some Asics on, low-cut Asics, and just a gym shirt and shorts. And I thought, well, who's this kid? And I think he's the best point guard in the conference going away. And the part I love about him the most is his toughness. He's put in hours and hours and hours of work and in the weight room and shooting and shooting and shooting. And I think that's why you're seeing success. Is kids put in the work. I know that the Wisconsin girls coach had that little video that went viral on Facebook and the internet, and she said you need to get your butt in the gym. You need to get off your iPad and your cell phone, and you need to get in the gym and do the work. And
they call it the iPad now, huh? Get off your iPad?
Yeah, I don't know what they're called, Dave. You know that. You and I both still have typewriters.
That's right. Hey, before we go, I got the music's playing. Are you still a dance dad?
Oh, yeah, every day of the year. Yep. We're getting ready to go to practice right now. First competition's in March. This year we're going down to Disneyland, or the Disney World in Orlando, for the national championships.
I want to see you dance someday, all right, buddy?
You come on out to Hononegah. We'll have a party.
There we go. Hey, we'll see you later. Fun with Gordy, back with more here on the State Line Sports Hour.